Pan M360, je suis avec Peter Burton qui mène l'organisation Arts in the Margins, on pourrait dire en français Art en marge, et qui présente pour la première fois à Montréal le festival FLUX or FLUX. So this festival is going to be presented from October 4th to October 10th. Peter, bonjour. Tu présentes...
Bonjour.
Bonjour, bonjour. Pour la première fois, FLUX arrive. Alors donc, lorsqu'on regarde cette programmation-là, avec la tête d'affiche qui est Wadada Leo Smith, qui est un prix Pulitzer, trompettiste, musicien d'avant-garde, un grand musicien de l'histoire du jazz contemporain, avec plusieurs autres concerts. On peut comparer ça au Festival de Victoriaville ou à Suoni Per Il Popolo, mais en même temps, j'imagine que tu vas me dire non, c'est différent.
Non, évidemment, c'est dans le même domaine de musique, un mode expérimental et tout, mais on a bien réfléchi nos affaires et on pense qu'on offre une contribution unique à cette discussion de programmation et festivals et artistes et publics et tout ça. Et pour nous, en anglais, on a l'expression state of flux, qui veut dire un état de changement. Et je trouve que notre festival est une réponse à cet état de changement qu'on vit. Alors, on pense vraiment à comment est-ce que les festivals doivent changer pour s'adapter aux appels pour être plus divers et inclusifs et équitables. C'est une de nos grandes priorités. Mais on pense aussi au changement plus grand qu'on vit dans le monde et la manière que ça affecte le public et les artistes. Et de ce niveau, je pense la crise de démocratie, social democracy, on voit tout partout, que je pense que pour tous les gens, on se demande si on avance en quelque chose de plus pire au lieu de mieux. Les questions du changement climatique. And in English, we talk about what's the expression? The increase in wealth disparity qu'on voit, qui change vraiment, je crois, les attitudes et qui met beaucoup de stress sur les gens, que les gens voient moins clairement comment ils vont faire leur vie, comment ils vont vivre leur vie.
Okay, so this state of flux means that it can be transcribed in a way by music right now. So the crisis of democracy, the crisis of the environment, the crisis of the cognitive state of mind right now. So there are many aspects to complain about because we don't feel that it's a great period for humanity right now. So, but how is it, witnessed by music in this Flux Festival?
Well, I believe firmly that festivals offer a real opportunity to create new models for social interaction and are also a great sort of laboratory and forum for presenting new ideas that, obviously are often intuited by artists and understood by audiences that are interested in contemporary art and new music. So it's a great space to think about alternatives and ways forward, I think, but also a space to socialize and to hopefully build that solidarity that we need, I think, is essential prerequisite for addressing some of these issues.
So let's pinpoint some elements, some examples, because you're going to present many concerts on a 6-day basis. So,
yeah.
So let's just describe the main your main picks.
Yeah, I think that you mentioned Wadada Leo Smith.
Well, bien sûr.
And who will be playing in duo with Sylvie Courvoisier.
Oh, Sylvie Courvoisier.
Elle est une grande artiste in her own right. She's a fantastic
oui,
performer.
Elle joue beaucoup dans excusez-moi, ouais, elle joue beaucoup dans la grande famille de John Zorn, elle.
Oui, elle est basée à New York, puis, mais elle vient de la Suisse.
Oui, c'est une Suisse.
So, I mean, when you look at Wadada's involvement with the advancement, the Association for the Advancement of Creative Music, this was a wonderful response by African-American musicians who wanted to improvise but also compose music, but who were totally shut out from new music institutions and financing, particularly in the 60s, 70s.
C'est ça, il y a une longue tradition avec le Art Ensemble of Chicago, Mulhall, Richard Abrams, et toute la suite. Ça fait à peu près 50 ans que ça marche, non?
Yeah, so he's a living embodiment of this kind of attitude and how music models new ways of being. And in addition to his concert, he's going to be giving a talk at a conference that we're organizing called Improvising Care, that Eric Lewis from McGill University, who's a co-founder of Arts in the Margins, is organizing in parallel with this festival. So when you talk about ways we're addressing these issues, there's this whole conference on improvising care, which is part of the discussion. I think that academics are obviously doing research. They're looking at new ways of thinking about things. And it's important to have that those ideas filter out into the world and have an impact and get implemented concretely by, you know, organizers and the world at large. So there's that aspect as well. And a very interesting project we're presenting is something called GIFT, which is composed and organized mostly by Louise Campbell, who's a Montreal clarinetist and composer. And I think if you listen to her music, you'll realize she's like a seriously gifted new music artist. And the focus of her piece, The Gift, is on disability art. And she works with people that she calls exceptionalities. So she has a piece on Alzheimer's and memory loss and the aging process. She's worked with artists who have physical disabilities. And so there's this combination of professional musicians working with people from the exceptionalities community to create new artworks.
Very interesting.
So, yeah, I think what she's doing is profoundly beautiful and interesting. And if you allow me, I'll continue on with a few other more examples.
Sure.
Okay. We're going to be putting on the Nakatani Gong Orchestra, which is a really great DIY project organized by the Japanese percussionist Tatsuya Nakatani, who is another one of these downtown New York musicians, like who's there for a long time. He's based in New Mexico, a weirdly named town called Truth or Consequences. And he tours extensively around the world with his Nakatani Gong Orchestra, which is a community art project. So he shows up in town, he brings 16 gongs with these handmade bows that are played, you know, they draw sound out of the bows and make these huge drones. And he works with local artists in a workshop sort of scenario ahead of the concert, and then they put on a concert.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So there are plenty of that on the 6 days. So c'est quand même une période difficile pour vendre des concerts puis lancer un nouveau festival parce que le financement public est en crise aussi et c'est pas parti pour s'améliorer avec les élections qui s'en viennent au plan fédéral. On n'est pas sûr que la culture va être très appuyée. Alors, lancer un nouveau festival maintenant, c'est difficile.
Oui, c'est un acte de courage, mais je pense. Mais Arts in the Margins received some foundation funding that was kind of Kickstarter money for us to get this off the ground. And I think the issues we're addressing are important. And I feel as though if you have a festival that touches a nerve and that gets people interested, then there's going to be a future for it. And that's what I hope will happen. And also, there's a lot of partners involved with this festival. So originally, the festival was going to be much smaller. But I started reaching out to people. I met, you probably know Isaac Goldschneider from
Sure.
Innovation en Concert, like a
Oui.
really interesting
Travaille avec
artist.
Tim Brady, c'est ça.
Yeah. Yeah. So when I told him that I'm thinking about starting this festival, right away he said, well, I have a concert at the same time, so why don't I add it to your festival? And then this happened multiple times with Marty Spaghetti, Canadian New Music Network, Le Vivier, and so on. So
C'est bon, ça.
There's a real interest in collective activity. So the festival's not just coming from me, it's also the milieu as a whole is interested in these issues, and everyone feels under stress, and there's a desire to work together because people see the importance of that.
Excellent. It sounds very good. So we hope too in Panem 360 that this festival will have a great birth and pursue after. That's it.
Thanks, Alain.
There's a big need in the fall to have that. We have some stuff in the spring. We have some stuff during at the beginning of the summer. Now we need some new kind of new music festival of this type in fall in Montréal. Merci beaucoup.
Oh, merci également.
OK, alors donc on y sera, puis on va faire des interviews avec vos artistes. Au revoir.
Oh, merci Alain, bonne journée.
Bonne journée.